first conversation I had with you about what you have done with your team was last February, I
Something
believe.
like that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And since I've had the opportunity to share your success stories and just snippets of your secrets of success with probably over 500 hotel employees.
Wow. Wow.
Um, yes. And every time, especially when you get to like the big moment in the story, which I'll let you reveal in a minute, everyone in the room is audibly like, whoa. And immediately you start to see the light bulbs go off in their head of, if they can do it, so could we. And so,
Absolutely.
and I'm excited to now have a chance to unpack with you
Sure.
some of the things that I observed when you very kindly let me shadow your leadership team for a day. And really, I know in my heart of hearts that yes, there's going to be a lot of hotel leaders listening to this that are going to be really inspired, but I also believe that there will be a lot of non-hospitality leaders across all industries that are going to pick up something really meaningful. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
So let's go back in time to April of 2022 when you first joined the Westin Dallas Southlake. Paint for me a picture of what the state of the team and the hotel and the guest service were like.
Well, this was kind of right in the middle of COVID, is that right? So, hotel opened in November 2021, and I was at that time working for Ambridge at the Hyatt Regency, and this opportunity came back, and as you know, my home is in Dallas. I want to come back to Dallas bad, and this fantastic opportunity came along. I was very excited. So I walked in. I'm a very energetic person. I run 5Ks every morning before I get to work, and I think my energy was too much, and some people couldn't handle it, and probably I irritate some people on my first day because I just do my typical introduction. We got our 9:30 meeting. I show up sharp, well dressed. I got the mm, tons of energy with the espresso and everything else, and then I go, hey, my name is Volkan Tekinkoc. I'm the new GM, and I'm excited to be here. And we have a fantastic property as far as I can see, because I walked the property several times before I assumed the position. I say, guess what? We will be the number one Westin in the US. And it was like a moment that everybody kind of silent and looking at me like, kind of I'm crazy or something. This guy
Yeah.
just shows up this morning and the first thing in his agenda just tell us that you're going to be number one Westin in the US.
And
And I meant
where
it.
were you at that point?
So you remember, and I invite you here, and we have a cafeteria. At the
Mm-hmm.
employee cafeteria, we do our morning stand-ups, and I got pretty much all the department leaders and few other people, the executive chefs and some sous chefs, and so yeah, it was eye-opening for them, and they just listened to me for next 30 minutes. I am a little bit loud, and because of my culture and my Turkish language is very loud language. Every time I talk, my wife thinks that I'm fighting with someone, but that's just my personality.
That's funny
So yeah,
because one of your team members described you when you came in as a chihuahua on 3 Celsius drinks.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was their way of describing your energy.
yeah. So that's how it started, and yeah, I was confident because again, it's a fantastic property. You've been here. It's a impeccably clean. We do lots of great things, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a I set the expectations on day one. So
Yeah. So you brought everybody in there and you said, hey, we're going to be number one in North America. And you were 39 at the time, number 39 out of 121 Westins. Is that
it
right?
was 123 Westons at that
Okay.
time. Yes, we were ranked
But
number
who's counting?
39, and our ITR score was 69.
Intent to recommend.
Uh-huh. Correct.
Okay.
So,
That's
then,
good, right?
yeah,
It's good.
uh, yeah, it
But
was
for
good.
a,
I mean, yeah, I mean, 39 out of 129, you are like maybe top 35% of the brand.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is
So,
good,
yeah,
but not, for a 5-month-old brand new hotel, it's good, but not
Could be
where
better.
you exactly.
Could be better. Yeah.
Exactly. So you cast the vision. Talk to me a little bit about some of the resistance that you faced.
Well, I mean, resistance. I mean, there's always resistance, is that right? There's a change and there's a fear. You know, new leader comes in. You know, I feel same way. I changed VPs throughout my career. I start a new job. I got a new VP of ops or new VP of sales or new people in my position that I accustomed to dealing with another person. Now you got this new fellow shows. You fear, is that right? I mean, the fear and change and expectations are, different expectations, different GM. So there's resistance. There's always resistance,
Mm-hmm.
and but I am very easygoing a person. You know, I have my red lines. My red lines usually on the customer service standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
and also the cleanliness. Those are the two non-negotiables.
Mm-hmm.
We are in the hospitality, we are in the hotel business, and so I try to get to know them first, and especially I talked to one of my leaders, that the one that described me how I uh, look like in the morning.
Okay.
So there was some resistance there, and but my intentions always to get to know you. My intentions always understand the dynamics of the environment,
Mm-hmm.
the hotel. Yeah.
When I asked you over a year ago now, in that first meeting, you cast the vision, what your immediate priorities were. I don't know if you remember that you said this way, but you said to rebuild the leadership team. You did say get to know them, but then you also said I had to learn their baggage, which really stuck with me. So tell me more about why that in particular was just as much of a top priority as going after that number one goal.
I mean, yeah, I mean, the key is to get to know them. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Understand them. I mean, most of the time, we get into this work so much, and we have all these deadlines, we have all these goals, we got all these financial goals, uh, top line revenues, bottom line, and in the process, we get lost. And I am a kind of person never managed from the office. I'm in the office. Yes, I have to do my forecast. I have to do my budget. I have to respond people above me, and but understanding, getting knowing them, don't know something about their families. That right. So what makes them? Why they wake up every morning to do what they want to do? Because our jobs are nothing compared to any other business in the world. Uh, because something needs to motivate you to wake up every morning to deal with our business, because at the end of the day people are paying for it and they expect a service, they expect something outstanding. So getting to know them, to understand them, is always my first instinct as a leader. And because everyone is different. You have i have 10 people reporting me here. They have different personalities. Something drives them differently than the other. I can talk to one in a different way, another person a different way, to get my idea get crossed, or my expectations. So yeah, it was my first instinct, and of course during the process we had to make some changes, especially in the kitchen. It wasn't up to standards, um, and at the end of the day we are running this operations are very F&B heavy, especially on the banquet and catering. We need to have some people can deliver the expectations on that level. So yeah, I mean that's how I started.
How long did it take you after that initial meeting in the break room, which I believe happened in May of 2022? Which
Correct.
this might be, yeah, which this may be kind of creepy, but when I tell your story to other teams,
Sure.
I have the picture that you posted from that team meeting, and it says May of 2022. I love it. It
Perfect.
was on LinkedIn. You
Yeah,
posted
yeah.
it, but to me, it's like, hey, just another picture. But really, I mean, that's where it all started. So, okay, so how long did it take you as a team to get to number one in North America?
So here's the deal. So that year, May 69, number 39, and the focus was,
most of my background has been Marriott world. I did some Hyatt Regencies. I did some mainly between Hyatt and the Marriott branded full service hotels. And I am very into Marriott and the systems and the processes. And I know the standards A to Z. Biggest standard for the Marriott, doesn't matter if it's a select service, full service, or luxury, you have to have service basics. You judge by that welcome. You judge by that sincere welcome, eye contact, mentioning their names, is that right? And asking for further assistance. Those are never changed with the Marriott. And it's same in the first lobby entrance, the concierge or the valet or the check-in or the bellman. And if you go to a restaurant, there are same standards. If you go to housekeeping deliveries, the same standards. Doesn't matter if it's a Fairfield or Westin or the JW. You got to have those basics. Is that right? So you got to get them understand that. And that's number one. So, the team was new, and most of them had a hotel background, but some of them were coming from Marriott branded hotels, and some of them were not. And I don't think focus was the Westin itself. Is that right? Westin is one of the unique lifestyle hotels, focusing on being well-being. Eat well, move well, sleep well, exercise. All that good stuff. So we kind of go to basics, and we talk about the basics. And at Marwan, one of my department leaders, he had vast knowledge about from previous roles that he had, and he's a very customer service oriented person. We started at the front desk, and because we see that's feedback there, because I was reading all the feedback, I was like, oh my God. So that it just kind of makes you wonder, this is how we welcome people. So there was some very mixed, very negative feedback in both GSS and TripAdvisor. And so we focus on the customer service and follow up. Hotels are new, and everybody thinks that new hotel, everything should be fine. And not really. I mean, new hotels have lots of problems, from electrical problem, from the AC problem, to things that they mean. One point, one of our suites that we have like 16 of them, and there's no light switch for the light in the living room, so people cannot turn off the lights. They complain, but till I got there, nobody did anything about it. They just removed the light bulb. So we install switches. Is that right? So reading that feedback, and the goal is, if something happens, it needs to be fixed, and it needs to be fixed immediately. Because you're going to have next person there, you're going to have same problem. Nothing's going to get fixed. You're going to have a problem. So I taught them to be proactive. I taught them to be friendly, and things start to roll. Does that make sense? So you're fixing this, fixing that. You are friendly at the front. You have impeccably clean property, and I always use verb impeccably. Not clean. It needs to be impeccably clean. And that's one of the pillar things. They mentioned that a lot. So, so then things start uptick. So we went to 72, 73, 74. Then everybody's looking at each other. What's happening? 75. The math wasn't there to be number one on the first year. It wasn't there. I mean, I know my math. When you look at the numbers, when you need to have so many surveys to get there. And so that first year, we grow from 69 to 80.3.
Wow.
And we finished the year top 3.
Of all Westin. So you went from number 39 out of 123 to 3 of 123 in less than 8 months.
Correct. So big kudos to team, is that right? I mean, it's fantastic. We finished number 1 in cleanliness. We've been number 1 since I've been here. The housekeeping team doing a fantastic job. We had some problems on the customer interactions, the service standpoints, and following up things with the clients and the guests, and having that wow factor. So fantastic. So then I say, okay, we reach our goal. It was that the goal I set was that first year. I mean, yes, we were going to be number one, but the first year I knew that Met wasn't there, but top 2, 3, we made it. So the new year, I say, okay, no excuse now. We're going to be number one. So here we are March, January, March, February, March, we are doing fantastic. We are topping the brand. We have state came and shut down 2 of our elevators because of some structural issues from the construction.
Oh no!
And this is a big
talk about a setback.
Yeah. So this is a big group house here. We got lots of groups in this hotel, and you know how the groups are on their breaks. They go to their rooms. You got 3 elevators in the lobby, 2 elevators on the service side. It's only go second floor, and we are bleeding. We are bleeding bad. Of course, I'm sending to my VPs and my VP of project management and VP of ops, and okay, this is killing me. It is killing me. So 4 months, Heather, we have 1 elevator.
Oh no! And you have over 200 and how many rooms?
261 rooms.
Oh my god!
And again, our group to leisure ratio during the weekdays is 70-30. And they come with the program, they leave at the same time, they come at the same time, they use the elevator at the same time. So here we are bleeding. So, and I told Marwan, we got to do something about it. Of course, we are following it with every guest. You know, we are stationed at the lobby and keep apologizing and handing out waters and talking to them. So finally, we got the second one back. But good news was, in a typical hotel, if you didn't do those things that I told you, you will probably lose 10, 11, 12 points. I mean, at the end of the day, elevators are not working. Yes, we have feedback. Elevators are not working, but still customer service, cleanliness, attention details, 10, 10, 10. So we only lose maybe a couple points ground. Once the second come back, I think we dropped from 1 to 4, but it wasn't too much gap. I still had a faith in him. So here we are, July, August, we are neck to neck. Number one, I don't want to call the hotel somewhere in Midwest. They are competing against each other, and they've been number one for throughout, I think, last 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
So, you know, we're doing all the right things. Now elevators back, but still 2 elevators, but it's better than 1 elevator, is that right?
Yeah.
You gotta make it happen. And here we are neck to neck almost whole year with them. I think New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, we have a few surveys came in. I think we just beat them. We were at the same score, 80.3. No, I'm sorry, 84.3, not 80.3, 84.3. And they were same score too. Then the year closed, we opened next day. I think they did recalculation or whatnot in the Marriott system. Here we are tied, but we are number one.
Woo!
So
did the team just go bananas?
Oh yeah, they went bananas. I mean, it was fantastic. Is that right? All the struggles that we went through, all the sweat, all the hard work, it was going to just be washed away with the elevator problems, and we didn't let that happen.
Yeah.
So again, that was a fantastic story because you know they can say that, hey, Volkan, you are managing a 1-year-old property. Yeah, of course you should be number one. And I've seen lots of number 1-year properties in my lifespan. And I see the property's condition after 1 year. You know, it's unbelievable. But again, this is not just a customer service. It's with our programs to maintain the property, from PMs, from carpet care. You can walk into my rooms right now. You can still feel like it's a brand new carpet. It's all about care.
Yeah.
It's all about.
I'm glad you mentioned the elevator story, because I had a note to ask you, like, before we go into some of my observations from interviewing your leaders. I thought, you know what, we should upfront address what I'm calling like the yeah buts that might be going on in a listener's head, whether it's like, yeah, but you had a new hotel. Yeah, but
Mhm.
I don't. Yeah, but my hotel's only has 75 rooms and I have 5 full-time employees. Like all of those yeah buts. What might you say? I mean, you just touched on a little bit, but fancy and new does not guarantee
Mhm.
success. Is that right?
Yes. So I always give that example. I don't know still the case. And there was at one point, if my understanding, I had some buddies work at the Ritz Carlton, and he was a residence manager, and I have some friends, GM friends too. One point, Ritz Carlton is probably still is the standard in their public space, in their meeting spaces. They have some silk wallpapers. That was their standard. But if you don't have the soul, if you don't have people factor, if you don't have this, what it takes to serve your gas, that wallpaper doesn't mean anything. It's at the end of the day, it's an empty wall. It looks
Yep.
shiny from outside,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't really help you as a guest when you walk in that
Mm-hmm.
property. If you're not being welcome, if you're not being cared, and if you don't feel like you're excited about that property.
That's right. And the Westin isn't your first rodeo in terms of taking a struggling team and turning them into high performers. From our time working together in past hotel hospitality life, you on multiple occasions were placed in
Mm-hmm.
very
Sure.
let's call them old and distressed
Sure.
in dire need of renovation hotels. But in the hotel world, we call them red zone hotels.
Mm-hmm.
And you went there, and with no capital, no
Mm-hmm.
renovation, you turned the team around.
Sure.
So it's not just the Westin.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Yeah, that's correct. But again, we didn't make them number one. Is that right? I mean,
Sure.
let's just be real. There are certain
Sure.
hotels, whatever you can do, you can turn things around, correct. You can improve your scores. You can get out from that red zone to green zone. But you have to product to back it up. That I have no objection for that. But you cannot just rely on the product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you just rely on product, you will fail.
Yes. I love telling the story when I have the chance to speak to hotel teams. I'll keep one of the hotels, the one I compare this one to, nameless, but I show them pictures of 2 different hotels from these competitors in Hollywood, California.
Sure.
And one of the pictures looks like, a dumpy motel that's never been renovated. I mean, it's clean, but it's just like you look at the pictures and you're like, whoa. Next to its competitor, which is brand new, gorgeous lobby, like Vegas style pool. And every single human agrees, looking at those 2 pictures, that they would rather stay at the new one, that they would expect better and professional service at the new one. And then I reveal to them the TripAdvisor and the Google review differences. And that brand new fancy hotel, it varies. But at one point it was, number 89 out of 363 hotels in Los Angeles. And that dumpy looking motel one is number 3 out of 300. And then, of course, I'm talking about the Magic Castle Hotel.
Sure.
It's just and there's countless stories like this out there where some of the greatest, highly rated hotels, whether it's on TripAdvisor or Google, are at hotels that are, or even restaurants that are not renovated, but they're super clean and they're super friendly.
Sure. So I give you one example, which is the company. We were both together. I know you came from Pillar before joining the Ambridge, and Donna Kama was the executive vice president at the time, the second person in the Pillar after Chris. We had a failing property in their backyard. So it was a courtyard. I don't want to give the city name. So
Sure.
And they promote to me be a GM there. And the funny thing about Pillar at that time, the hotel had 160 rooms, but 100 rooms during the weekdays was Pillar VPs and executives staying with me. And Donna I love her, and she's been a great leader and very I was privileged to work with someone like her. And we have some VPs, they will be like difficult. They will send me like very nasty emails in the morning. Hotel is old, the AC problems, that problems, this problems. And Donna will always send me some nice emails in the morning, but he will give me some touch points about her stay to just warn me, hey, Volkan, just take a look into this. So that hotel was a red zone property. And one point, the ownership kind of say, hey, look, this is in your backyard. What are you going to do about it? That Tony Batal was my VP of Ops and great mentor, great leader. So they put me down there and we got a second QA. They failed QA. I go there, we fix it. Hayden was there. She was a regional and we walked in there and we just fixed it and passed the QA within 2 months. Then they placed me there after that. Then, I'm working on the GSS scores. They are failing on that too. Things are improving. At that point, I got married and I went to honeymoon to Puerto Vallarta, the Marriott Resort. And I'm going to tell you about that resort, how I look things differently from my visits. So I go there and, Marriott QA is very strict, is that right? It's all about service. They show up, lots of service touch points. And I had a plan. I got my binders. I train my team, what they expect, what they not. I don't need to be there to go through the QA. Only way they fail if they don't do the service basics, period. There's nothing them to worry about in my absence. And frankly, me being there or not is not going to make any difference because they show up and they show up next day. They already did what they need to do because, it's a QA. And it was on my second day, first visit to Puerto Vallarta, first visit to Mexico, actually. I'm enjoying the sun, pina coladas, margaritas. I got a phone call coming from Tony Batel. I say, why is he calling on my honeymoon?
Oh, no.
I'm like, what happened? He goes to voicemail. He goes like, Volkan, I don't want you to worry about this voicemail. I just want to congratulate you. You're the QA, you're the green, my friend. You are fantastic.
And for anyone listening that doesn't know, like QA is the quality assurance audits that Marriott, the brands, or any of the brands, they just show up unannounced and they grade you. They grade everything under the sun. And there's like red, yellow, green level. So for this red zone hotel to get a green quality assurance audit is a major, especially when the leader's not there, massive deal.
So I got a little bonus from Chris and Donna at that time, being a green hotel. They just roll out this new program. If you are green, they give you this X amount of money. Tony is happy, can ever be. Donna is happy, Chris is happy. So then this hotel was, that year when I was there, it's failed. In the pillar bonus plan, if the property failed on the first QA, it's not qualified for a bonus. And so I got married, I got expenses. I went to honeymoon, I got expenses. So I came back, I got a phone call from Donna direct to my office. She never calls me, we talk, but she never just picks up the phone. Hey, Volkan, how are you? I say, I'm doing fine, ma'am. How are you? I just want to let you know that we are very happy about what you're doing down there. And I was like, very important for them because they care. Hey, we know that you fail. It wasn't your fault that property failed. You don't usually qualify for a bonus. You had a great year last year, but because of that, you are not qualified, but we're going to make an exception for you.
That's awesome.
So they pay my full bonus.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So rewarding. It is such a testament to the fact that what you were able to accomplish at the Westin in a 1-year-old hotel. Now, you didn't take the courtyard and become number one, but let's be honest, a red zone hotel, if they get out of that and get into even the yellow, let alone the green, that feels like number one for them.
Sure,
That's
absolutely.
huge, right? So the thing that in terms of your leadership and how you go in and put structures and focus and rally the team and get to know people, that is transcending from Courtyard to what you did at the Westin.
Well, I still remember that like yesterday. It was a very rewarding moment to me, and it shows that their appreciation to me, and also it shows that hard work pays. And and I can tell you that at the Pillar, if you remember, we had a great culture.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that was some kind of a moment and this is just not one. This is one story. That I plenty story of this in that sense. Pretty much every hotel that I walk in, they were fine flags, Renaissance, Regencies. In Ambridge, most recently, before I got there, they were in the focused improvement plan. Adam is my VP. Goes, Volkan, what are you going to do about it? I say, I guess we're going to fix it. In 6 months, we are out of it. I mean, am I the secret sauce for this? No, the people does that. But how to approach people, how to rally up them for the goals that you set, it's up to leader. It's up to me.
Yeah.
You can break them, you can make them. You can earn them or you can lose them. Those things are, losing people is so easy. You can lose anything in a moment here. But gaining their trust, get them riled up for the idea that you're going to be successful and have them fiscally responsible, and also delivering the guest services that is being requested and expected. It's up to leader.
Yeah. Really, really wonderful segue, because you're starting to dabble a little bit into a couple of my observations. So you very kindly, about maybe a month ago, allowed me to come in for a day, observe not only your managers meeting, but then spend time with each of your department heads, really just on an effort and on my part to go in with no expectations and with the intent to just observe and learn, to see if I couldn't capture some of those secrets of success to where we could potentially share them with the world. I haven't had a chance yet to debrief with you kind of my observations, and it took me a little while to process all these things. So I'm excited to share with you those now, and would love to not only go through them, but just to get your thoughts and reactions and any other context that you want to add to them.
I would like to hear it.
Yeah. Okay. So my observation number one is that you do not put a lid on your team's potential. So, and let me explain that. And one of my favorite quotes from John Maxwell, in his 21 Laws of Leadership, he has the law of the lid, which states that leadership ability is the lid that determines a person's level of effectiveness. So looking at this from a lens of belief, a leader's belief in their team is that lid that determines that team's potential. So there's a couple pieces of evidence that support this that I noticed. This is very evident when you set your goals with your team. A lot of leaders, even if at the Westin, a lot of leaders play it safe when they're creating goals for their team. Like they want to get momentum and motivation, but they set these goals that aren't too aggressive, and they're attainable and they're realistic. But you didn't do that, right? You came out of the gate, super big, hairy, audacious goal of becoming number one. But as we've said before, the belief wasn't rooted in the product. It was in the people and what they were capable of. So that was evidence number one. And evidence number two is that you do not let those brand standards box your creativity or your potential or your belief in, right? I've heard you say on more than one occasion, yes, we're a Westin, but we want to deliver the experience and the feeling of luxury of a Ritz-Carlton. So tell me a bit about how belief, not just metrics or policies, how belief guides your leadership, and how do you help others see themselves as capable of more than they imagine?
So here's the deal. the way I believe, not just in the hospitality, everything's a mind game. Your potentials is up where you set your up to. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go this big, you go this big. If you want to go this big, you go this big. If you want to go this big, you go this big. If you want to go this high, you will reach that high. But it's all about your mind, where you want to reach and how you want to reach. If you want to go down, that's easy too. You can go down so easily. So this is not your typical lesson. I told you this before. We do lots of things. And can I tie this my travel experiences to the things that I want to set?
Yeah, go for it.
For this Westin. So 2 experiences I give you, I'm going to give it to you. So one of those trips, and since we went to this Puerto Vallarta Marriott Resort, I've been going there pretty much every year. Even the COVID, I went there twice. And Mexico is our to-go place because like a quick trip with me and my wife, 2.5 hours, you are there, extended weekend, and come back, reimagine, refresh, re-energize. And travel keeps me awake. Travel keeps me alive, and travel keeps me fresh of ideas. So, and sometimes I'm cheap. And my wife always tells me that I'm cheap. So we don't go vacation a lot. Why are you being cheap? So I was going to Marriott PV. Then one of my director of HR, Mary, we are still good friends from Sheraton Market Center. She goes and stays she goes to Marriott first, and she can get the connecting rooms for her kids. They are grown. She wants to watch them. She cancels it, goes to Westin. She tells me that, hey, I love the Marriott, but we end up in Westin. Why don't you try there next time? I say, this was right before right during that Marriott Starwood transition.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm going in September. Usually I go downtime. Flights are cheap. Employees are open. I booked the Westin stay, $69 versus $99.
Nice.
Then we go there. It was raining. It's a rainy season in PV. If you ever been PV, it's their rainy season from May to November. November to May is their summer. Humid, rainy. Beautiful hotel, fantastic Westin. It's my first time at the Westin at that time because I'm with the Marriott and we just took over the Starwood. And something was missing about that property. Not the building, and it's much better than Marriott when it comes to product at that time because it was newly renovated. Nice property. But other than the welcome was fine at the front desk, but like I told you, like that Ritz-Carlton experience, empty walls.
Mm-hmm.
There's no liveliness. I know it was down season. They cut some cost, bring some less people. The poolside, nobody got attend to us. And the funny thing is, I invited a friend of mine with his girlfriend to PV from San Francisco, arriving Friday. We got there Wednesday. Now they are coming. I always talk about being a hotelier. I know the best, and I go play in fantastic places. Now I'm just thinking, they're going to come over here. I don't think we're going to enjoy as much. We go to the bar. People are good, but it's just something is missing. You go to the pool, there's no music, there's no liveliness.
Mm-hmm.
They don't come and attend you. I mean, like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Then my wife starts to complain. Then it gets worse. We always stay at the Marriott. Why you book the Westin? You being cheap. So then I woke up next morning before my friends got to PV. I book a hotel room next door. Before I book the hotel room, I call down. I know there's no early checkout fee, but I say, hey, I have a problem in Dallas. I got to get back to the hotel. I have to check out. And of course, they know me. I'm the general manager at the Sheraton at that time. Hey, Mr. Volkan, is everything okay? Did we fail on anything? I said, no. Everything was fine. Because I don't want them to feel bad about anything. We just didn't feel it.
Yeah.
So we check out, and I call the cab, and I said, I'm going to Dallas. And cab driver goes, are we going to the airport? I say, no. Before you go to the airport, I got friends at the Marriott. I'm going to go stop by and say hi to them. Because probably they talk each other, because now they are both managed by Marriott. Is that right?
Smart.
So then we get out. Then over there, as soon as we get in, they got more people, the music, the liveliness. They are welcoming you. It's action going in the pool, music going on, people serving, eating, drinking. Different vibe.
Different vibe.
Two same brands, similar brand, managed by Marriott. They are literally sharing same coastline, but two different experiences.
And it was the vibe. So that was what was missing? Like the people vibe?
People vibe, because the music, the sand, the lighting, everything adds up in our business.
Mm-hmm.
So we really like things with our senses.
Yeah.
Senses makes difference, right? Those are the people were friendly. Again, there's activities going on. They were maybe a little bit busier than the other hotel, but there's a reason for that. They were slower. They were busier. It was same time of the year. Maybe you can say that at Volkan, you've been going there for a long time. Maybe you just got used to it. You've been biased.
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think you have to be a seasoned general manager at a hotel to go to two different hotels and experience a completely different vibe. We experience that at restaurants. I mean, even someone outside of the hospitality, that's why we gravitate to that. We know why we go to the same restaurant for our anniversaries. Like why, what builds loyalty, right? It's there. It is that vibe.
So
okay, go ahead.
Go ahead and ask your question. I know you.
No, I was going to ask if that moment of recognizing the differences in those two hotels and the vibe, like you brought that back to the West. So how did that impact your belief, like raising that lid of belief on the team?
So we elevate service at the Westin to the luxury level. I give you an example. If this hotel had $1 million art, little bit extra touches like on the fixtures and the furniture, which is we have fantastic product. But in order to be luxury, you have to have these marble floors and marble bathrooms, and the fixtures are a little bit high end and furniture is a little bit higher end. Not a whole lot. Mm-hmm. This will be a Forbes 5-star property, and I mean it.
So you just found the little bits, the little bits.
But this
and I do think though too, and I'm sure this happened with the team, and you can testify to this, that the moment you start bringing those little bit extras, when they start seeing the difference that it makes, for like, I know you guys have a towel warmer at the front desk. So on like cold, rainy days, like I'm sure at one point you were like, oh, let's bring a towel warmer. Wouldn't it be nice if, like, your obsession and excitement for those little extra touches, I'm sure helped with their motivation. Like, oh, but probably I would imagine helped them come up with ideas too. Like it really inspired them, because some of our team members, they don't travel to those, destination resorts and get to experience those little extras. Heck, even in our own backyards, most customer service, whether it's restaurant, retail, you're not getting a lot of little extras. So I would think it really did a lot for their own belief in hey, if we can do that and we can add this, like that starts to create that belief in themselves.
So correct. And so one thing that I was lucky, because this product that I have at the Westin gave me those chances to elevate the business levels that you provided in a luxury environment. So luxury product is given. Is that right? Mm-hmm. It's up to you how you're going to service.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
And luxury is like, I have we just kind of lost in the transition. We think that luxury is all about the brands and the product itself, or bringing all these luxury brands in the mix, and it's about the service. It's about the detailing. It's about that what the customer likes. If Heather comes and she doesn't like wine, she doesn't drink wine, I give her a wine, it doesn't make her special. Mm-hmm. Get to know Heather, what she likes, And most of our systems right now, we across the board, Marriott, Hilton, Hyatt, you got all that information. Is that right? Make them special.
Yeah.
Not just that, bringing those little things that I can play with this product that I have to elevate that service. Like we got pool programs starting right now. Again, when I say we are not a typical Westin, we have a live music on Tuesday, live music on Friday. We have a jazz brunch. We do a pool program with the DJ starting from this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, goes up to Labor Day weekend. We do frozen grapes by the poolside. We do scented cold towels by the poolside. Those are little touches. You can't think that it's a small thing, is that right? Volkan, what is this about? I mean, scent.
It's a huge thing. Yeah.
So they do that at Four Seasons. And I had a one review on the TripAdvisor, you can go check. It says Volkan Tekinkoc and his team build a white glow 5-star experience better than St. Regis and Four Seasons that he stayed in Texas.
Yeah. You're definitely bringing the vibes. You've got good people vibes. And I mean, that luxury vibes. Okay, let's go to my second observation. So observation number 1 is there is no lid. You do not have a lid on your team's potential. Sure. Observation number 2, and this isn't just you, this is all of your leaders. You all systemize what others leave to chance. So there's a quote, I think it's by Jim Rohn. It's been,
sure,
a lot of people have said it, but it says successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. They don't wish it was easier, just wish it was better. So, and I feel like this is the part where any hotelier is listening and they're going to roll their eyes because it's the same things that they probably hear over and over and over again. But you all systemize things such as, and here's some evidence, the departure emails. You or Marwan, every single person that checks out gets a personal email.
Correct.
From you or Marwan. Sometimes that's 50, sometimes that's 100. But that alone, I've shared that with some other managers and they're like, I used to do that. I used to do like 10 at a time. They hear it and they're like, that's unreasonable. And you systemized that. You've systemized your daily huddles in terms of the expectations and the routines and the effectiveness of them, or daily stand-ups, just a daily meeting, daily check-in. Some people call them different. You're walking your daily walk without purpose, which you can share what that is in a moment. Every week you take property walks with your managers. I know Marwan, who's over front desk, is really disciplined about his handoff system between the morning front desk shift and the evening front desk shift. So like these are really tedious, like systems and processes and routines that take discipline, but a lot of people overlook these things.
Sure. So, correct. Certain things were like, I work for Pillar, I work for Remington and Ambridge. Remington was big on the departure emails, and it's one of our things that we have to do. And again, I work for some properties that they need lots of capital funding, and every time you send those emails, you got the message from them, customer service was fine, but by the way, your AC sucks, it's hot in the room, or TV doesn't work and something. And on those properties, I took ownership of those emails and responding back, because one thing about those emails, you gotta be careful. If you don't respond back, so Heather sent you some feedback. She's not happy about XYZ. And you couldn't get back to that email in a timely manner. When I say timely manner, you got to get back to the same day.
Yeah.
And then there are some, I see some hoteliers and their inbox is full of emails and they don't get back to their clients in days and days. You send me an email, you receive an email back from Volkan on the same day. My customer comes first. I drop everything. I got to find a solution for that guest. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care if I have an owner visit. I don't care I have a budget due. I don't care. I have a forecast due. I don't care. I have a renovation call. You got to. Those people paying our bills. So then if you don't respond, they're going to now their madness. If they're mad, they're going to be more
mad. Yeah.
So it happened. It happened in properties. I gave this to some of department leaders. They were fantastic people, but they were not good on the replying back. Then it became worse. Then now it escalated to GM. So the worst thing that it needs to be escalated to GM. So in our hotel, we don't have any escalation. My team can make a decision on a guest issue that the way that I can make a decision. They are very, very relaxed. Relaxed means they're not going to give the hotel away, but they know what they can do to make them right. And in our culture, especially in the North America, everybody wants to speak to GM because they cannot find solution going to the front desk or calling to the XYZ person. But long story short, you got to respond back to those emails. They are tricky ones. So we respond to those emails, and guess what? Those 100 emails we send, 99% has a great feedback. And yes, we are hotel. We are not perfect. We have AC problems. We have TV problems. We have lighting problems. We have problems. We are number one. It doesn't mean that we don't have problems. But the key is, when that problem comes to my desk, when that problem escalated from R1 to department leaders, we will never put a guest in that room with that problem again. That's number one. Is that right?
Yeah.
So then Ricardo is a fantastic director of housekeeping. He does a fantastic job. That guy he's something. If he's down just a little bit compared to ComStat, he will go find to elevate his housekeeping, tweak things here and there to make sure we are number one. Right now we are number two. We have hotel in fantastic vacation location open last year, but they don't have get enough service. But he gets really bummed up about that. But he's working to tweak the things to make sure we get there. So that's number one, is that right? The departure emails, you got to hear the feedback, you got to thank them. But if that email sits there for the next 4 or 5 days, guess what? That doesn't serve any purpose, and don't do it. I give you one advice. If you're not going to respond, don't even do it.
Yeah. So
then walks with the non-purpose. We do weekly walks. We have a purpose there, right? We got the pad, pen. I got my phone, I type and talk, and I send to my leaders the things to be fixed. And this is a standard procedure if you want to have a successful property. And as a GM, I need to know firsthand what our problems are. And I do sometimes, not sometimes, daily, I just go out and walk without purpose. When I'm on a mission to find something, sometimes you look for the same things over and over and over again. I walk like a guest. I will look at the random things. I go random areas of the hotel. I find more things. And the reason that I tell you I like a guest, because I want to see their point of view. Because when I travel, those beautiful resorts or beautiful hotels, I walk as a guest and I see things. And I say, I shouldn't be doing this in my property. Or if I see something good, I say, look, oh yeah, I need to take this to the hotel. I need to take this back to the Westin Southlake. So then I do that by myself. I don't want any interaction. I don't want any distraction. I just walk without purpose.
I love that. And do you do that every day?
I don't want to say every day, every other day.
Every other day, but still
sometimes
frequent.
Once a week. I'm not going to lie. Yes. I do it without purpose.
Yes. And all of these things, whether it's a property walk once a day or every other day, walking it with your managers, your daily your daily meetings, your those departure emails, or even the responding back, like all of those things to me reflect your priorities, which is, at least from my observation, it's exceptionally high standards, obviously maintaining number one, but you're constantly looking at what's going on, where can we improve? And all of those things, and if for anybody in hospitality or has ever worked in a hotel knows, those are not new ideas,
No, it's not.
right? Property walks,
No, it's not.
daily meetings, departure emails is a little bit progressive, but so many leaders they don't create an effective system around them. Maybe it's because they think they are so basic, like that can't be the silver bullet. But when they don't create discipline and systems around them, you do leave so many things to chance. And unfortunately, in hotels, when you leave things to chance, where it shows up are in those surveys, are in the reviews. And then you're kicking yourself in the hiney going, then you're constantly reacting and playing defense versus running a really mean offense game.
Absolutely. So, I mean, small things makes difference in our business. Like I'm very picky about, like when I walk in the Westin back in May 2022, every trash can was hanging from the lid. I mean, this is not a Walmart. This is not a Motel 6. I nothing against them. I mean, come on. I should not be seeing the trash liner. It needs to be uniform.
Billowing out.
First impression. You know me, Heather, from day one. I'm all about first impression. If you cannot show up to dress to impress our business, I'm sorry, you got to.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can work some, resort properties. There are some relaxed uniform standards. Then I say, dress to impress. You need to be sharp. Because we set as a tone, as a GM, as a leader, and our associates looking at us, hey, okay, he dressed crappy. I'm going to dress crappy too.
Does this, ever since you told me the trash can liner story, I chuckle because I'm like changing my own trash cans in my house. I'm like, if Volkan were here, like, would he judge me, by the way? Does that, like, at home, like, are your trash can liners perfectly tucked in? Like, I'm curious if this trickles.
My home is like from the hotel magazine. We built this brand new home 2 years ago. It's a fantastic, gorgeous home. And I'm very particular. When people come to our home, and there are some people sometimes stays, my wife's friend stays and things like that. This is like a hotel room. Even my toilet paper is rolled.
Oh boy.
Like I got 3 restrooms. I don't have kids. The one that we don't use usually, it's sharp, folded toilet paper.
You've got the flower on the toilet paper roll, the like flower.
So, I mean, it gotta be perfect. I like being clean. I like being organized, and not just front of the house, and it stays at the back of the house. If you cannot clean your back of the house,
yes,
you cannot. And you've seen my property. It wasn't just for you. I mean, there are times that things little gets out of control, like any other hotel. Things get busy and overlooked at, but 99% of the time, I don't want to say 99, but 90% of the time is in that shape. Is that right?
Yeah.
So if you cannot clean the front of the house, what makes you think that you're going to keep the front of the house clean?
Yeah. Yes. Let me get to observation number 3.
Sure.
Because, man, I think I have one. Okay, I've got 3 more, so I'll try and make these a little bit shorter.
Are we doing
observation
good?
number 3? We're doing great. We're good. I think we're doing great. Observation number 3 is this very unique combination of like exceptionally high standards for excellence without sacrificing humanity. You and your leaders equally prioritize these exceptionally high standards with a deep, genuine care for your people. 2 things that I believe normally are in tension with one another.
Sure.
Like you can be obsessed with standards and results and high expectations and do so in a way that compromises trust and micromanaging and where people just feel like numbers or like they don't care about me as a person. They just care about what I can produce. Or you could have a team where everybody loves each other to the extent that nobody's willing to have like tough conversations or hold each other accountable, and therefore the results suffer. So you all seem to have this equal balance of both. Here's a few pieces of evidence. Well, I already mentioned before when I asked you your first priorities, when you set the goal of becoming number 1, one of the first things was you said that you not only had to build a GSS culture around those scores and then standards, but you also had to rebuild the team, learn their baggage, right? You were immediately pursuing out of the gate excellence and humanity. When I spent time with Ricardo, by the way, you're right. Unbelievable. Hands down the best director of housekeeping. So much heart. A couple of quotes from my time with him, he said that you, as a leader, you are a mirror. If you don't show them your pride, they'll just work for their paycheck. And he also said you have to be able to read people. That starts with knowing them, that you have to be a part of your team. Marwan said that as a leader, he's a little bit tough on them, but he loves them so much. And all of you want to make it to where people genuinely love their jobs. And another leader said that, and I quote, you celebrate the hell out of people. So all of these bits of evidence are proof that those high standards and high care are not at odds with one another. So my question to you is, how have you learned to hold that tension as a leader, like to demand excellence, but also still making people feel safe, valued, and seen?
Good question. So one thing that I learned, I'm probably probably kind of lead this back in Cambridge. We talk about lots of emotional intelligence. And at one point in some properties that I had, I bought the books and share my leadership, and we test each other. I'm not the smartest guys in the block, and I prefer people smarter than me to be around me. And I do have lots of smart people here and very hardworking people. Like Brian, for example, he recently left us, but a fantastic guy. He went to Hotel Win. I wish him all the best. So, I learned a lot from him. He's great with our beverage program. He elevated our beverage program to next level. But one of the things that Brian probably told you, that he hated me in the beginning.
In so many words.
I mean, hate is a strong word, but because I like to know as an incoming person, that's just my thing. Just like sometimes my wife tells me, I don't work for you. You just go do your GM job at the hotel. I like to know. And so I was trying to get to know him, get to know his department, understand the challenges, because I have some task given at that time when I walked in that, hey, not Brian necessarily, but we got some work to do in the FMB.
Sure.
But they say you find out your own. But emotional intelligence plays a big factor, is that right? Reading people, understanding people. Like in the beginning, I told you, I cannot treat Heather the way I treat the Marwan. I cannot treat Marwan the way I treat the Ricardo or Brian. Mm-hmm. These are all different people. They have different backgrounds, different expectations, different things drives them.
Mm-hmm. And not only do you got to know them, but you all genuinely, like that. 2 years later, you all genuinely enjoy each other's company. That was also a sign. I didn't even write that down. That was one of the big things I thought of as a major sign of the team culture, is that not only are you all successful as a team, mm-hmm. but you actually, you eat lunch together, you golf together, mm-hmm. like the department heads where you could, and many other successful teams, they come to work and they'll rally and they'll hit their goals. Sure. But when it comes to who you actually want to spend your personal time with when you're off the clock, it wouldn't be the people you work with. Sure. So, and then also, so that was another thing I noticed. And Ricardo too was telling me about, like, he was telling me about the people on his team, like how one of them, and I feel terrible, I can't remember the country that he came from, but he was a lawyer, Puerto Rico, and was a doctor, a lawyer. Mm-hmm. But he just knew all of these pieces of information, really important parts of these people's identities beyond what they do for the hotel. So, and I say that because you've mentioned it a couple times, this, you've got to get to know your people. You got to get to know your people. That is, it could be something that you hear and think, oh, I know my people. But when you really sit down and think about it, you're like, okay, what do I actually know about them? I know that they are from Dallas. They've worked at this hotel for 3 years. Their favorite snack is M&Ms because that's what they wrote on their All About Me form. When you really sit down and think, you don't really know, because everybody comes in and you get to work and then you clock out. And so I just wanted to like sit on that for a little bit, because it is so critical and was very evident when I was at your hotel.
So, I mean, Westin Southlake is just not number one globally. And we're going to kind of probably finish with that. Is that right? How we get there? But we also do lots of community events, lots of outings. I'm myself right now co-chair for DFW Marriott Worldwide Council in the DFW market. And we do attend golf tournaments with the Marriott, with the hotel associations. And not just that, we have this fallen soldier back in Roanoke. He was a Navy SEAL. It's a heartbreaking story. They came out and family stay here. The Navy SEALs came here. We got a golf tournament there. We went that outing to help, awareness, sacrifice, for our freedoms. And we want to be part of the community. And when we do that, we do as a team, not just the GM goes golfs. Frankly, I was playing golf a long time ago. Probably I don't even know how to play golf. But since I've been here, I play more golf than I ever had. And I'm practicing and learning. It's a fun game, So yeah, we go outings, we do lots of things, we do lots of activities together. Here at home, right here in Westin, we have our culture is all about celebration. We like to celebrate. And can we do a whole lot? Maybe we don't. It's not all about money sometimes. It's about care, it's about thinking about them. I always tell them, we provide our company, our Mr. Paul Barham is always says that F1 family comes first. And you met with him in recent breakfast we had. When we say F1, we mean it. I mean it. Because we are family and family comes first. Ricardo is always comes checks with me like anytime. He does a fantastic job. He just want to do taking care of his daughter to school or something. He was like, Volkan, I will be out a couple of hours. I said, look, man, just get out. As long as you get your job done, it all matters. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? But of course, if you take advantage, it becomes a norm.
Sure.
Every day, it's a different story. But, once in a while, you got to take care of your family. Mm-hmm. So I have a family too. I have my things too. I have to take care of myself. If I'm going to set that goal myself, the standard, I have to set the same standard for my team. So here at the Westin, we celebrate every other month with our successes, rallies. We provide an employee meal at the Westin. It's a free of charge. It's a decent meal. And sometimes it goes up and down, the quality of the food. And I talk to chef and I warn her, like, hey, Chef Kalista, I get it. Things get busy. Most of the time we provide a great lunch, great dinner for our associates, but sometimes it falls short. But I remind them this, me as a Volkan, you as an executive chef, we are blessed to go out there and buy whatever you want, eat, provide, have a fancy dinner, fancy steak. But let's don't forget, it could be someone's only meal. And it needs to be nice. Mm-hmm. That's how I told them. So that's just critical. We care about them because they are family, is that right? When I talk about these things, I get emotional because you don't know what that other person going through. That's their only meal. Let's provide them the best. Mm-hmm. But little things make difference in our business. Not just our guests, it's our associates as well.
Mm-hmm. Is that, again, another beautiful, real,
sure.
And just example of that genuine care. Just absolute genuine care. Observation number, okay, I have two more. I'm going to lump them together.
Sure.
This is kind of one of my big ones, is that you have a culture of never settling. You don't settle. Like even at number one, let's like not only you are the number one Westin in the world right now, right?
Right.
You were number one North America. That wasn't enough. We're not settling for this. What's next? Okay, let's be number one in the world. And even now, you've said that okay, you're not even. It's what's next. Well, let's not look at competing with other Westins. Now you're benchmarking yourself against the other best full service and luxury brands outside. So there's this never settle mentality. And in a conversation with Ricardo, your head of housekeeping, he told me, I love this story. He told me about how they were number one or maybe number two worldwide in cleanliness, but at the time their scores were in the upper 90s, which I think consistently they are. When I was there, I think February was 99. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But he was saying that, because you all talk about the scores and everybody owns them. But he was saying that, well, at the time, maybe they were number one, and so he intentionally went back and looked at where his team was last year. So he's like, okay, well, if no one's beating us, what can we look at to make sure we're not settling? And he went back and he pulled his like same year to date cleanliness numbers for that team the year before. And he said, we're 0.8% behind where we were.
That's what
so yes. And that 0.8 of a percentage point, like who cares what the rest of the world is doing? We're behind where we were by half a point. And he brought that to the team and to the meeting. And so then it gave everybody the chance to be like, okay, what's my 0.5% today? So that was one major piece of evidence of never settling. So I'll ask you and maybe this is you can answer for you or the whole team, but what drives that mindset of it's not just reaching the top, but to keep evolving and pushing and growing once you're there? And how do you keep the team hungry for that without burning them out?
Great question. So, yeah, I mean, Ricardo does it all the time. So it comes, I'm happy what he's doing. Is that right? He's doing a fantastic job. And we are right now competing against our year before performance. Is that right? So here we are again. We are number one in ITR, number one in customer service, number one in maintenance. Right now, Ricardo is a little behind from number one, number two, all F&B categories. We are number two, but we are not too far off. And ITR is the number one thing, and we are beating our numbers compared to last year. We are at right now 91.4. Actually, I'm going to look at it. I forgot. I'm sorry. Something like that. I turned off my phone. 90.4 year to date. Fantastic scores. Oh, I'm sorry, 91.4. 91.4. We finished it last year 90.2. We are 91.4, 0.6 over than last year. We are still number one, but I don't know the world ranking because those we don't see it. We see it kind of during our Westin calls, and they share that ranking. It happens like every quarter. Then at the end of the year, I send VP of to Marriott the email on the franchising side and what's the ranking. They are the one can see the global ranking, and they will let us know. But the whole thing started like this because I know they were sharing every quarter, and we were in top 2, 3. But I know, as you go to the year, you lose some ground. Is that right? I know that we are top 2 on the last quarter, and I say, look, there's a chance to be number one globally. Let's just push for it. But we don't know where, because we cannot see every day that how we competing against them. But we are feeling like we are doing good. Just keep doing good. But the key is we are competing ourselves first than others. So it doesn't mean that I am number one, doesn't make me still the best. We cannot just say that, well, we are number one. We don't want to hear any feedback. We don't want to hear any criticism. We don't want to grow. We're number one anyways, we don't. When you get into that business, that's a losing business. You got to stay live in the game. You got to get going. You got to push yourself to next. I can just now just say, if I don't do anything between now and at the end of the year, we'll be top 3, top 4. Is that's what we want? That's what we want from us, from ourselves? This is our potential. I always remind them their potential. So I was harsh on myself throughout my childhood, my college years. I was in hospitality. I went to hospitality schools in Cyprus. I got my Bachelor of Science degree, and I finished number 3 in my class. And I was in the student council. I was elected 2 years in a row in a very challenging environment. There's 15,000 students in that school, wow. And at least 1,500 was in my hospitality school. It's bigger than some small towns in the US. That is a big election. So I was very competitive. So, and I was competitive when I came to US too, and I always strive to be the best. And I always, then again, not my peers, I just need to do the right thing. And I just wake up every morning, just want to do better things for myself, for my team, for our guests. Certain things doesn't change. It's just hard to explain who I am, but sure. Sometimes I say it's a God-given gift.
I think it can be a natural gift for some people. My husband is the same way. Sure. Natural gift for him. He wakes up competitive, constantly like striving to be better. But I also do think it can be something that is learned through inspiration and like bringing other people with you, where it might not come naturally to other people in your team, but when you're bringing them along with you, you're challenging and by proxy teaching them in their own way to find opportunities to have those same feelings and excitements. I'm going to wrap it up here. I've got one. I have one question that I'm going to ask, and then I'm going to hit you with a fun lightning round of human questions. Sure. What thinking about the people listening, whether they are a general manager just like you, which a lot will be, or maybe someone that's not from hospitality but they are leading a team, what words of encouragement might you have for a leader who is trying to get their team's performance to a next level?
So it's all about human connection. Like you mentioned on your earlier feedback about some observations, people are not numbers. And we are in hospitality, and we have to be hospitable. And we have to be hospitable to our people. Being ugly, being nasty is the easy way. Everybody can do that. But being kind, being understanding, yes, as a leaders, we do have to drive lots of things. The most important thing is that drive the top line revenue. Then have the bottom line right. Does that make sense? You have to control your cost. But you gotta be hospitable. I mean, you gotta care. Numbers are numbers. People are people. Treat the people the way you want to be treated. It's period.
All right, I've got a really fun non-hospitality, fun, end this party on a high note round of rapid fire questions. Sure. So I've not shared these with you. So just go with what your gut says. Absolutely. First. Okay. I know you're a fan of old fashions. Oh, yeah. You walk up to a bar, you order an old fashioned. What vibe are you hoping for? Classic or something with an unexpected twist?
I mean, you don't even get the classic in certain places. You gotta be careful. Is that right? So, I want to have fine balance on my old fashioned. You don't want too sweet. You don't want too strong. You gotta find that right balance. Depends on bourbon you like, and but you have to have a ice that is black ice. The minute that I see that they are pouring a just loose ice, it's done. I mean, I don't even want that
Over.
thing. I can pay
You
for it,
just
but I'm not going to drink it. It's
you're
just,
walking out at that point.
yeah, you're done.
Okay, what's a small touch or a simple luxury that you think more people should appreciate?
Small touch and simple luxury. I will say having space.
Having space to like at your house to think, like what kind of
I mean,
space?
most of the time, we are in very rush environment. Is that right? Like everything's rush in our
Oh,
world.
I see. I
Having
see.
the space to find yourself.
You are originally from Turkey, as you said. What is one thing you miss from home?
Of course, friends and family, but Turkish food is one of the best. And, Greek people might say otherwise, but
Oh boy, we're starting a great debate here. All right, you said, is your wife from Canada? Is that
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, your wife is from Canada. What's one cultural difference that still makes you smile?
Mm. I mean, I always make a fun that Americans are not different, but she gets mad. She says that they are different in North America. You know what? I don't know. Um, I never
You'll be
thought
thinking
about
about that.
that.
The coolest or most surprising celebrity encounter you've had at a hotel?
Mm, I mean, again, this is not about politics. You can be on a different aisle, and I
Sure.
respect that. But I host Bill Clinton in one of my properties. I thought he was taller than that because when I seen him back in the days when I was growing up, he looked tall, but he wasn't that tall.
He wasn't that tall, shorter. Was he president then?
He was not, but he was campaigning for his wife.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it was afterwards. Yeah, still. I mean, no matter your political beliefs, when you've got a former president in your building,
Absolutely.
that's
I mean,
pretty cool.
we gotta respect, is that right? Doesn't.
Absolutely. What is something you've grown to love with age that you never imagined you would?
Um, Good question, and I think different things makes me happy now. Just being peaceful and simple things. Uh, you see world differently than you were younger. I think you get maturity. Expectations are different. Like when I go vacation, for example, I don't like too crowded areas, and even though I'm going to a big, large resort or whatever, or big city, I just want to have my own space, observe and relax and find myself. Versus like back in days when we were young, we like to go party and all that stuff. I would
Yeah.
rather have a nice glass of wine, a very, no, I don't want to say quiet, but some, elegant environment versus
Oh,
just
yeah.
going clubbing,
And an early bedtime.
early bedtime. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. That is a simple luxury. That for me. For me, Heather. What is the last book you read?
You know what? Oh, it was the orange, orange theory, not orange theory, the orange. Yeah, I think it was a orange theory. It was about again labor relation, employee engagement and relationships, and um, so that's another thing that I learn and it inspires me. Um, it was a great book, and how to. It's not like it was a different level of engagement with your associates and people that you work with.
Yeah.
So
Last question. If you weren't in hospitality, what dream job would you be doing right now?
I always want to be a pilot.
Oh,
So not a whole lot of people knows that, and that was my dream job. And I still try here. When I was. The funny thing was, By the time I become a U.S. citizen, it was too late for me to join the Air Force. As an officer, I don't want to go be I got education, I got all these years put in, I just want to be an officer. I passed that age, and I will still try. But in Turkey back then, it was hard to get into. There was no civil aviation. It was all armed forces. And in order to get into school, you have to be a top person on your class. And plus, your dad needs to be a general or colonel or whatever.
Sure.
You have to be in that kind of, I don't want to say class, but you have some people that in that environment to get that school. It was hard, but after that, after I left, things changed. There are lots of civil aviation schools open for civil, but I always want to be a firefighter.
A firefighter and a pilot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been really fun.
Yeah.
Really, really fun to, again, not just to spend the time with your team, but to just hear in your words your reaction to the things that I observed, and really just kind of unpack the special things you're doing at the hotel. It has been it's such a treat to see. I know you go to Marriott conferences and things like that, but you don't always get to see the impact that you're having on other people.
Sure.
You guys have a great LinkedIn presence, and I know that you're inspiring people through there. But man, you guys are doing some awesome things, and even just as a leadership, a healthy team, coach, consultant, I am very much inspired, and will continue to tell the story of Volkan and the Westin Dallas Southlake. I can't wait to see what's next for your team.
Thank you, Heather. I know you do a fantastic job out there too with your own company. What you did was very brave after COVID or during COVID. And I watched I think you went to Evian Hospitality the other day. And
yeah, I was there just 2 weeks ago.
So Great job, wonderful job that you do out there to inspiring people and tell them their potentials, and giving your world experience working with different companies and now owning your company. And I think you're doing a fantastic job. And just don't forget, we won another award, which is Marriott Bonvoy Elite Hotel Award. It's given to a handful of properties throughout the Marriott global portfolio. And so that's another fantastic achievement. 2024. I don't know what's next in the line, but I'm expecting this hotel to be Hotel of the Year this time around. But again, it's up to their discretion, because don't forget, we were number 2 out of 900 plus luxury and full service hotels in US and Canada last year, not just in the Western world. So,
well, if anybody can do it,
we will see. It will be
you guys can do it.
Wonderful for the team at the Westin Southlake to be a Hotel of the Year, but let's see what happens.